You delegated it. You briefed the team. You even said the words, "I trust you, now run with it." But it's Thursday night, you're staring at the board paper or skimming that PowerPoint, and your fingers are already moving. You're adjusting the tone, you're rewriting the summary, you're fixing formatting that actually doesn't really matter. And just like that, you've undone the delegation. Welcome to the Re-Do Reflex.
You're the one they turn to, the calm one, the capable one, the one with the answers. And yet, beneath it all, you know there's more available for you. More energy, more clarity, more unshakable presence. Welcome to Project Joyful, the podcast for health-centered leaders. I'm Tracy Tutty. Here, we speak to the part of you that knows leadership isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more fully who you are. So let's begin, shall we?
So let's call it out with love, shall we? Here's what this reflex might look like. You delay approving a board paper, even though it says all the things it needs to say, but because it doesn't sound like you. You ask your team to draft a report based on your outline, but you end up saying, "I'll know it when I see it," and then you spend days restating what they've already wrote. You tweak the tone of an email, you redo a budget layout, or you rewrite a paragraph. Not because it's wrong, but because it's not quite perfect. This isn't about wanting quality. You have high standards, and those standards got you here. But if we're honest, this isn't about standards anymore. It's about safety. So what's really going on? Well, high-performing women don't redo work because they're control freaks. They're not perfectionists in the way the world assumes. This isn't about being picky. It's about earning your place over and over and over again. In your head, it sounds like, if this isn't perfect, what does it say about me? Or if I let this go out and it reflects poorly on me, will it confirm that I haven't actually earned my place here? Or if I didn't personally shape it, is it even good enough? This isn't about control. It's about proving. And that kind of proving is exhausting because there's no finish line. This redoing is so much more than just a habit. When you redo your team's work, it doesn't just waste your time. It trains your team not to think for themselves. Over time, they'll stop bringing ideas to you. They'll wait for your input before they make a move. They'll play it safe because bold gets rewritten. And instead of a high-performing team, you get a high-compliance team, one that mirrors your anxiety instead of amplifying your vision. And here's the real cost. High-compliance teams don't innovate. They don't challenge the status quo. They look to you for answers instead of building confidence in their own. You end up becoming the bottleneck, not because you don't trust your team, but because they no longer trust themselves. It stifles initiative. It erodes ownership. It creates a culture where everyone wants to be told what to do. And that is the antithesis of high performance. And let's spend some time talking about that phrase, high performing team. It's fashionable, it's aspirational, but what does it actually mean? A true high performance team doesn't just nod and agree. They challenge, they push, they bring bold ideas and constructive tension. They ask questions that can feel uncomfortable, and they don't always make it easy for you to be the smartest person in the room. So if you say you want a high-performing team, but you find yourself resisting pushback or rewriting their work, ask yourself, am I unconsciously avoiding the challenge that comes with leading real performance? Because a high-performance team isn't always tidy, but it is transformative. Now let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not the problem. Your safety pattern is. This reflex didn't come from nowhere. You've likely spent your entire career being the one who gets it done. Your reputation was built on excellence, on polish, precision, and that got you in the room, at the table, into a leadership position. But now, the stakes feel higher. And instead of letting go, you grip tighter. The Re-Do Reflex is your nervous system's way of saying, I don't feel safe unless I've personally touched it. And that doesn't just block your team. It keeps you trapped in the doing instead of leading. And here's the thing. You don't need another productivity strategy. You're already managing 300 tabs, mentally and literally. What would your day be like if your subconscious could feel safe letting your team shine? Would you leave the office on time without mentally rewriting the team's work in the car? Would you spend less time second guessing and more time visioning? Would you walk into meetings knowing that you didn't have to be the one with all the answers because you've built a team that contributes, challenges, and collaborates? It might feel quieter in your mind, lighter in your body, more expansive in your schedule, and more powerful in your presence. That kind of ease comes from a deeper shift, where your inner world is no longer bracing for impact every time you hand something off. From there, it's possible to build a system that knows. You already earned your title. You belong in the room, even when your team writes the first draft, and even the final draft, actually. You don't have to prove your worth through every sentence, every slide, every late night edit. Because when your leadership comes from presence instead of proof, everything changes. In neuroidentity coaching, we work at the level most leadership programs skip entirely, and that's your identity. We go straight to the reflex, the trigger, the old belief that says, if I'm not in it, I don't deserve it. And we rewrite it from the inside out. Not by giving you a better delegation framework, although that'll come as a natural byproduct, but by anchoring the truth in your nervous system. You don't need to do it all to lead it all. You've already earned the seat. Now let's help your body to believe it. You're not here to be the safety net. You're here to build the kind of team that doesn't need one. The kind of culture where ideas thrive and people feel trusted. And that doesn't happen through rework. It happens through recalibration. When your team sees that you trust them, even when it's not perfect, they learn to trust themselves. They stretch. They speak up. They evolve. But it starts with you. So if your team is capable, but you still find yourself fixing what you ask them to do, or if you're tired of carrying the emotional weight of just in case it's not good enough, if you're craving a space to lead, not just clean up, it's time. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about matching your internal state to the leadership role you already hold. That's where the shift happens. That's where the energy changes. That's when people start saying, I don't know what it is, but things just feel better around here. Want to know more about how to shift from managing everything to leading with trust and clarity? Book your free discovery call today to find out more about neuroidentity coaching and whether it's the next right aligned action for you. We'll talk about where you're holding it all, what's keeping you stuck in the Re-Do Reflex, and what it would take for your leadership to feel lighter, more confident, and truly supported. Because leading well isn't about doing more. It's about feeling safe enough to let go. Your team doesn't need you to fix their work. They need you to trust yours. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.